You have some awesome guests. That's awesome. Perfect.
Recording in progress.
Welcome, everyone. We'll give people a couple more minutes to get on, and then I'll introduce our awesome instructor for the day after we do our little accountability check-in.
I promise I'm here. I'm just making a peanut butter jelly sandwich for lunch.
Oh, okay. No problem.
Would they say in school, do you have enough to share with everybody?
Right. Make me one too.
I do.
Give people one more minute. Really? Okay, let's start with our accountability check-in. Um, Khadijah, you want to get us started today?
Hello, yes. I have ordered business cards for the second time because the first
Yay!
time they were not good. I also bought some, like about 100 door hangers that I plan on just walking around my neighborhood and hanging up. I'm your neighborhood person.
Good.
Um, what's that?
Perfect. Good job.
Oh, and I have reached out to a couple people. I have some ideas floating around in my head for collabs and um yeah, I didn't know if so my daughter sent me this post for actually one of the people in our brokerage who had paired up with a photographer, and she was like, oh, and they were doing like Valentine's Day giveaways.
Oh, cute.
Yeah, and she was like, you should, because my daughter has her own nail business. And she was like, yeah, if you do this, like I'll provide nail services. And I was like, oh, I think that's a really great idea. But I was just wondering how, like, are they capturing leads like that? Because there's like a QR code. I didn't fill it out or anything, but I was like, I wonder what they're doing with the information, you know?
Yeah, definitely could be a little bit of both. Could be like a lead gen to attract people, but also like a retention, staying top of mind thing as kind of like a thank you too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. So anyway, yeah, so I've got some ideas floating around and just keep working on my SOI and trying to make my touches.
Good, good job. Shelly, what about you? How's everything going?
Well, I got contacts added in. I got my super key activated so that I can get into homes. I got signed up with NAR to go on Thursday this week. I am going on home tours with them. So that'll be just kind of with a group of agents because I thought, you know what? It's kind of boring to go by yourself. But I thought when I saw that they were doing that, I thought, well, that'll be fun. I mean, you're just going out with a group of people. So I got signed up for that. I also signed up for another course and something else. I can't remember. I'm signing myself up for lots of stuff. So yeah, I'm just getting signed up, but also I am going to get out to my local Chamber of Commerce and then made some contacts at church. So yeah, starting
Awesome.
to
Good job.
starting work.
Awesome. Great. Elmer, how's everything with you?
Everything is good. The number one thing that I did was shadowing, and I got to learn a lot how people set up, questions that people might ask.
Perfect.
Uh, got set up on my computer stuff. Got access to Canva, got access to the RMLS. Pretty much everything's getting set up. So that's the best thing
Awesome.
that's been happening. And I think I'm gonna announce to my SOI that I'm a real estate agent now.
Yes, that's the next step. Good job.
That's the next step. Yeah.
Excellent. All right, Josh, when you're finished with your chew, check us in.
All finished. Checking in. I did an open house on Saturday with Hannah and Heather. Heather, right?
Camera.
Tamara, sorry.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
okay.
And they were great. They were really good. And there was a lot of stuff that they brought to the table, essentially, and showed like how they do things from room to room. Honestly, it's a big difference compared to Better Homes and Gardens. It was really cool.
Awesome.
And so I found it really exciting and it was great. And so it caused a reaction from me to where I'm doing what Khadijah said, doing some door hanger ideas and trying to finish my business card. And then also on KW Command doing my goal settings.
Good.
Trying to get
Awesome.
that set up.
Great job. Excellent. And sorry, I won't put guests on the spot since you're not used to my interrogation. Ellie, how about you? How's everything going?
Get that unmute button. Good. I feel a little overwhelmed. Have so much to still set up. I've been kind of slowly doing things, but I needed to wait till Monday to reach out to finalize some things. So yeah, that's where I'm at. Overwhelmed and learning. And also
That is
congratulations to you for tomorrow. That's
Thank
awesome.
you.
Yeah.
Excited. All right. Let's see, Lonnie. You just signed up for another open house. What else do you got going on?
Hello, hello. Yes, I just signed up for the open house, which I'm super nervous about. Um,
Got
but
it.
I'm excited too. And then today I'm going to be taking some flyers for the raffle that I'm doing, to stores and just places where I'll get some reach, I think. And then yeah, pretty much that, and then just trying to figure out everything still. There's so
Good
much to
job.
figure out.
There's a lot. Sherry, how about you? Are you there, Sherry? No. He's just back.
Sorry, I was
That's
on
okay.
mute.
That's what I figured.
Hi. So yeah, I signed new buyers on Saturday.
Good job.
So we went out looking in Oak Ridge, West Fir area, and Marcola yesterday. We saw 7 houses.
It's a drive. It's a lot of driving.
Yeah, it was fine though. They took their
Good.
3 kids who are very well behaved, so it was good. They looked fast. They weren't, they didn't take their time.
It
So
takes 7 hours.
yeah.
Good.
Yeah, so we were done in like 3 hours.
Well,
So
that's not bad. Okay, good.
yeah, it was good.
Good job. Awesome. Okay, and I'm just gonna welcome Hamad. He is brand new to our Sunset Corridor family and will be in the productivity coaching program. And he just started his onboarding process today. So welcome. Won't put you on the spot today, but this is
Thank
like
you.
the accountability we do at the beginning of each class.
Got you. Okay, good. Thank you.
Yes,
Well,
absolutely. And we'll talk later. Perfect. Okay, well, today we have Adriana. She is the she's like head of all of the agent service coordinators and market center tech trainers and is located out of our Sunset Corridor office. She earned her bachelor's degree in business communication from the University of California, San Diego, along with a digital marketing certification from their extended studies division. And before joining Keller Williams Sunset Corridor, she worked as an escrow assistant in Los Angeles County for 2 years. She's passionate about technology, marketing, and helping agents grow their business presence online. Outside of KW, Adriana enjoys volunteering with Girl Scouts, attending concerts, and traveling to new places. So, you guys are definitely in great hands as this really focuses on that marketing aspect and implementing social media into your business and how that can drive some lead generation as well. So, I'll let her take it away.
Thank you, Mara.
Absolutely.
Let me go ahead and share my screen. Okay, so you guys should see the Ignite slideshow. Can we get a thumbs up? Okay, perfect. And situate. Okay.
And I
Okay,
will
so
email the content to those that I believe don't have an Ignite binder yet. So you should see that in your email in just a few minutes.
perfect. Thank you. Okay, so like Mara said, I'm Adriana. Today we're going to be going over how to capture leads with social media. So if we go to our first slide, we're just going to kind of look at the class overview. So if you've been following along with the Ignite classes, last class you attended was the Capture Leads with Open Houses. And today we're going to talk about social media. And if it's your first class, welcome. So we're going to talk about the different ways that you can capture leads with social media, specifically going over some of these key strategies here. So looking at today's agenda. We're going to learn about the 10-5-1 engagement system. Some of you might have heard it before. Others might be something brand new. We're also going to go over posting practice, so explaining the importance of limiting your social posts to 20% of your business content. And then also some social media strategies. So getting into those strategies that actually add value to the people in your network, rather than just kind of posting whatever. What do the people that follow you actually want to see and find value from? So before we get into a presentation, I just want you guys just to think of a few questions that maybe you already have off the top of your head regarding social media and share with me.
What are the top three mistakes that you see new agents make when as it relates to social media?
Okay, so like top 3 mistakes. That's a good one. We got how specific can you get in your target marketing on social media? Okay, that's a good one. And then another thing, so as we're going through, just kind of here, see if your question's been answered, even if you didn't want to share out loud, but we'll definitely touch on the ones that were shared. And also, I want to get kind of a general consensus of what social media platforms are you guys using right now?
Instagram, Facebook. I'm using Blue Sky, but haven't really used it too much yet. I'm just trying to go over in that direction. And yeah, those are the ones I can think of so far. I know
Okay.
there's TikTok, but I'm not very big on that one yet. So I'm just kind of holding back a little bit.
Yeah, no worries.
I
This
know
is just kind of figuring out what you guys are using right now.
the same Facebook, Instagram, and a little bit of TikTok.
Okay.
I
I
heard YouTube is the number one you should be using.
I'm trying to use all of them, and I see that they all have features for like a business page too. So that's something I'm trying to like get into and learn more about.
Okay. And for using, we're talking about ones that we post on or ones that we just use for like funsies?
We use Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube so far.
Okay. So I'm assuming these are all for like your business, but maybe also for funsies. Okay, and then we got Matt in the chat with Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, Reddit, and X. Khadijah for posting. Okay, perfect. Okay, so I feel like I've heard like the really big ones that I would suggest, and we'll get into that. So I think we at least have a good idea of what we're using social media for. and what channels we should be on. So now we're going to read this quote. Can I get a volunteer who would like to read?
It takes time to learn something, more time to implement it, and even longer to approach mastery of it.
Thank you, Sherry. So as we begin, just think about, again, some more questions that you might have upon the learning, implementing, and mastery of a subject in general, but specifically social media for this one. So I just want you to keep in mind that this is a process. Even though you're going to take this class and we're going to talk through this together, you're not going to be a master of social media all at once. It's something that takes time. It's going to take practice. And I think the most important thing is it's going to take that consistency. So don't compare your level 1 to someone else's like level 100. You know, we see those real estate social media people who are great and they're posting videos like every day. They've got the super cool cameras and the little mics and all of that. You're starting day 1, and that's what's important is you're here, you're ready, and you're willing to learn. So with that, we're going to go to our next slide. And we're going to start with our 1051 engagement system. Brief disclaimer from legal. It's important to know that with social media, if you're conducting lead generation at all, agents must reference their Market Center DBA name, not just Keller Williams generically. So that means to make sure you use your Market Center logo. So whether it's the KW, Sunset Corridor, Eugene and Springfield, so on, make sure you're using the logo with the Market Center name on there. Again, it just reinforces that you're independent contractors affiliated with your Keller Williams Market Center. And then also make sure to follow your state's rules for posting and NAR's guidelines for posting as well. So just stay compliant. It's a quick hello from the legal department. And with that, we'll get into our 1051. So does anyone have an idea of what the 1051 engagement system is? I see some shaking of heads. No worries. So
10 postings, 5 contacts, and 1 something.
yeah,
Is that right?
pretty much. You're super like right there. So it's basically the 10 likes. We're doing 5 kind of direct messaging of some sort, and then 1 original or sharing of someone else's post. So basically that. We want to think about, we kind of talked about initially what apps you guys are using. So thinking about what apps are actually popular that you would want to be posting and interacting on. And I think a big part of that comes with, first off, what are you familiar with? What do you feel good using and posting and doing all that? But also thinking about your audience. Who are you trying to attract? And what channels are they going to be on? So thinking about, I think the top 2 biggest are Facebook and Instagram. And those are super easy to start off with because they're actually both owned by Meta. So you can just create your accounts and you can actually post on both of them at the same time just by doing a little toggle. So I highly recommend if you're just starting out to get those 2 and really focus on that first. Because then the other thing is, since there's 2 such big platforms, they're what people tend to be using the most right now. And thinking about, again, with your audience, let's say if someone is working with a lot of maybe retirees, people who are selling their home and ready to maybe downsize. If that's like your niche audience, you want to think about where are the people who, in this age, where are they using social media? Chances are, I would tell you probably Facebook would be a better bet than Instagram. They might have an Instagram account, but even if they have one, I feel like they'll probably be more active on Facebook. So think about who in your audience is using what. And how can you get to them without making them work for it? So basically reach them where they're at. The other thing is thinking about, just because there's all these social media pages out there, you don't need to make an account on every single one. Just because at that point you're really spreading yourself, and that's a lot more to manage than really, really being good at like 2 or 3 platforms. So with that in mind, again, I think audience is a really big one. Definitely your comfortability. If there's something like, if you know you're not ready for videos, I would not start off with TikTok. You would be much better starting off on Instagram and Facebook, and just getting some content out there, getting a profile going. And then once you start doing videos and start getting comfortable with that, then you could transition and start making a TikTok as well. And then that would be easy just to like cross post whatever you're posting on Instagram. If you're doing video, making sure that also gets to TikTok. So start off slow and you can always grow to more. And remember, it is a powerful and free marketing tool. You don't have to pay anything to create a social media handle and get your account going. I think it was Elmer that mentioned earlier that there's actually even business pages. So you can go on Instagram and Facebook and create those business accounts where it'll even let you put in like your location. You can put your market center location. You can put business hours on there. So what hours do you want people to be able to contact you, that you are reassuring them, hey, I'll answer you between this time and that. Because, real estate, you got to have your boundaries. You can't be answering at like 2 a.m., okay? And if you are, kudos to you, but get some sleep. And think about, this is something you don't have to put money into to get started and get it going. And you can start with your family and friends. It's super easy and super fun to do that way too. And then that kind of goes into expanding your sphere. So once you have your family and friends added, I'm sure you guys notice I'm just going to talk about Instagram and Facebook a lot again. But you'll see those suggested people where it's like, hey, you might know this person. And chances are it's because you followed someone who also follows them. And the algorithm's thinking, hey, if Adriana knows Sherry and Sherry knows Khadijah, then maybe Adriana also knows Khadijah. So it's going to suggest, hey, maybe I should follow Khadijah too. So that's also a really easy way to start building your sphere. Because I feel like a friend request is a lot less scary than like straight up asking someone, hey, can I have your phone number? Like right off the bat, even though you should be doing that. But it's like a nice little warm intro. So just kind of go and spam your friend requests. And it's also really important, again, to engage with your followers. So this is what the 10-5-1 really is about. And that's what we're going to get into and really break it down. So starting off with our 10 likes or loves, this is, I think, the easiest part of the 10-5-1. Literally just go into your accounts and like at least 10 posts that you see. Different platforms call it different things, but I think on Instagram it still likes. So just go on, see the posts that are there. Literally, if you have no time in the day, just give yourself like 1 minute and just like the first 10 posts that you see from your sphere. Obviously not just like a brand that you might follow, like people that you know and would want to touch. You can also do things like if you really want to get someone's attention, or maybe there's someone that you just followed or just followed you, you could even go on their profile and like the first like 5 to 10 pictures on just their profile. And then guess what? They're going to get a notification that you liked all these photos. And a lot of times people just take that as like, oh, like she noticed that I followed her back or something like that. And it's just something nice. Like people like having likes on their photos and no one wants to admit it, but everyone likes to see that little number go up. So I think that's just even a really easy gesture you could do. It's also important to think about, what are you even posting and what are you liking out there? So think about your social media and a way to kind of express your brand. So in real estate, you are basically your brand. Like that is what you're putting out there. Maybe you can choose colors and fonts and things like that. But your brand is you, it's your personality, it's the style, the tone, all of that you bring. So everything on your social media is in essence a reflection of who you are and, probably how you would do business and how you would interact with clients, who you want to interact with. So when you're thinking about that, the biggest way to kind of interact with people on your social media and build your business is to bring that brand awareness and have it shown. Also talking about your events. So if you have any events that you're putting on, maybe events you're going to, bringing event awareness to that. Obviously, you know, if you have a listing, an open house, advertising that. And then the other big thing is by attracting buyers and potentially listings if people are coming to your page. Because if you think about it, people really want to work with people that are like them. You want to find commonalities and really build off of those. And obviously, we don't want you like being someone you're not or doing things like saying, hey, I love baseball, and I absolutely do not. Like, I'm totally tennis through and through. But if I have a client who loves baseball, I'm not going to pretend to love baseball too. I'm going to be true to who I am and, you know, talk about my interests and things like that. So if you're posting, these are like really easy posts just to kind of get up there. If people see maybe they have similar interests with me, or they have a similar lifestyle, or maybe a similar background. If people are seeing you share these things online and they see that, they're going to be more likely to be like, hey, like I see Shelly, for example, and maybe she really loves dogs. Maybe I have like 3 dogs and I'm like, oh my God, she posts about her dogs all the time. We have a commonality already right there. That would make me want to reach out to Shelly more than someone who maybe didn't post about dogs. And that gives me an in to just want to like reach out to her. So think about that. If you can't even think about, you know, initially what to post about, just think about yourself. Like, what are your interests? What can you share? And you might think that nobody cares, but all it takes is one person to see one little thing that they noticed. And you can build that bridge from that little connection. And it also helps, you know, to like those pictures and comments and things that you see that other people are posting as well. So like if you talk about your love of dogs, you see someone post a dog picture, you better go like that dog picture and comment it. Which brings us into our 5 comments. So not only do you want to do those 5 likes and get people to see you, but get them to really see you even more by commenting on their pictures as well. So just think about a minimum of 5 comments. And again, they don't have to be like a full essay or anything, but if we'll go with the dog again. If it's a dog, be like, oh my gosh, what a cute dog, what breed? Whether you know the breed or not. Like you can ask that. They don't know that. Or if it's maybe someone just had a kid who graduated and they posted a picture of their graduation. Oh my gosh, congratulations. Like you must be so proud. Literally just think of something nice to put out there. And with that, you know, make sure that we're spreading positivity and optimism. I kind of like to think if it's not nice or helpful in any way, maybe it doesn't need to be commented. You know, be aware of your digital footprint. It's a real thing and how it could affect you, both good and bad. So this also goes for both public and private remarks. Don't assume that something's just going to stay private just because it's between you and someone else in a text. You really never know these days. Again, whether it's a good or a bad thing, just be aware of what you're putting out. And, you know, just stick to nice, helpful, encouraging comments. And from there, you should be good. It'll really make someone's day, especially if it's someone that maybe you haven't reached out to in a while. Oftentimes I'll see people like just comment something nice and the person who posted it will reply and be like, hey, like I haven't seen you in forever, like we should catch up sometime. Or it even gives you an opportunity to get into this one share, direct message, or original post. So from those 5, maybe you do like a short snippet, but maybe you also send a direct message to them and you make that one a little bit longer. Like, hey, I saw your post of your new dog. It just made me think, you know, we haven't hung out in a bit. Like, well, when can I see you next or whatever? Or maybe you have something helpful. Like, I don't know, I have an extra dog bed that my dog didn't end up liking. Is that something you could use? You know, just think about how can you help the people that you're already wanting to engage with. So whether it's that DM or maybe you even take it to text, you can just straight up take it to the text message instead. But you could do that. You could also do your one original post So posting something out there, again, something that start off with things that you like, things that you enjoy doing, or sharing someone's post from your page. So if you're not aware, you can actually, I believe it depends on the person's privacy settings. But we'll go back to our dog example. Let's say you want to share the picture of the dog to your own page. There's usually a little button option that you can click and you can share to. You can share it to your own actual page, or you could even share it to your story. So those are two easy ways just to kind of like help spread the word. You probably want to do it more for like community posts or things like that. But it's just something, you want to do, whether it's the share, the direct message, original post, one of these each day. And it really doesn't have to be hard. Again, you don't have to create your posts from scratch. There's actually a term in digital marketing called UGC, which stands for user generated content. And it's a way that brands actually share the content from their followers. So think about, let's say Nike, they have the Nike Instagram page, but they have influencers that will post pictures of them wearing Nike clothing or shoes or whatever. And then Nike goes and shares that picture on their platform. And what that does is it gives Nike content to post without actually having to make that content themselves. And a really easy way to do this in terms of real estate is to do like a giveaway. So let's say I've seen a lot of these around maybe like summertime or even like during holiday season. Or we got Valentine's Day coming up. Let's say you want to do like a Valentine's giveaway. So you could say, hey, I'm giving away, I think it was Khadijah talking about her daughter that does nails. Hey, we're giving away a free set of nails. All you have to do is sign in with this form and we'll do a random drawing at the end of this day. And, winner will be announced on our social media. So that's an easy way for you to get information. Obviously, you want name, phone, email, home address, things like that, that you can put into your database, have them fill it out, and then you just tell them, yeah, fill out this form and post a picture of, I don't know, my sign or this flyer or this image, or you can just have them repost something. Tag me in it, put the hashtag, so on. And then all you have to do is go and repost that. And so what that does is if people see you reposting other people's posts that have you mentioned, they're going to be like, oh, well, like what's going on here? I'm sure you guys have seen like giveaways and things like that. But just kind of using it to help you, get information in your database. That's one example. Obviously, be compliant. If you have questions about how to do that, talk with your PB. But just, you don't have to be the one creating all the content all the time. Sometimes you just have to help direct others to help you as well. So with that, that's our first section. Who wants to share some ahas that they learned?
I think maybe just realizing that I'm not interacting as much as I could be. Like, I have a pretty good schedule with what I post and how often I'm doing it, but I was more focused on that and not interacting with people. If that makes sense, like not, commenting and not liking, more like, oh, I'm just gonna post these at these specific times and, try to get the most interaction that way.
I think that's a really good point that like a lot of people don't think about. Honestly, I didn't even think about it until I started teaching this class a few years ago. But it is really a thing because I feel like when we're sticking to that posting schedule, and yes, you're probably responding to all your comments and things like that, or at least liking them, I would hope. But that's, if you think about it, more of like a reactive way of using social media. Whereas if we want to be proactive, we want to go out and find people. So not just let them come to us, but go looking for them. So thank you, Megan. That was a really good aha.
So can I ask you a question? When you said that we can do a giveaway, how or where would you go find how to make something like that? Because it has to be able for them to type it in or somehow.
Yeah, like a form.
Yes.
I think probably the easiest one is Google Forms, and you actually have that. It can connect to your KW email. So you would just go to Google Forms, create one. It's really easy. But there's also like YouTube videos that could show you how to do it. Basically, you name the form, you can write like a little description on what you want them to do, and then you would just add like a little, I forgot what it's called, but basically a section for each piece of information that you want. So you would put like the first one, full name. The next one you would have like cell phone. The next one you would have like home address, something like that. And then you can actually make it required as well so that they can't submit the form unless they've filled out that information. And then also for compliance reasons, putting a little thing at the end or at the top. By completing this form, you give permission to Xenia to, reach out to you via phone, text, whatever. So that's why, again, talk to your babies. But having that little kind of disclaimer helps, especially you can put that and also like add, even if you're on the do not call list, you are giving express permission for this person to contact you. That's a good question as well. I know I'm just thinking off of like open house wise, there's actually an open house sign-in page that you can create using your agent site. So that one's super easy. It just pulls up a QR code and they just have to fill in the information on there. And that one already has the little disclaimer. So that one's a good one to start off with. I know it's not a giveaway, but it's already a form made for you if you're trying to capture information from open houses. Okay, great ahas. So I'll get into the next section. So this time we're going to talk about posting practice.
Can I ask you one more question?
Yeah, of course.
Like I was working on reviews and the QR code for that. Is there I sent it to my daughter and she said it was kind of not very good. So is there a way that I can send it and maybe get information from somebody that knows how to do that better than I do?
Are you talking about the command reviews or the Google My Business reviews?
Well, it was going to business reviews. It was going to my website, but she said that she had to click it twice before it actually took her to it. So I wasn't sure if maybe I just didn't know what I mean, I obviously didn't know what I was doing, but I was kind of working my way through it.
Yeah. I'll reach out to your Market Center tech trainer just to see, that way you guys can connect and see like what link you're sending and see if maybe there's a more direct one or how to go about that. You're in Southern, right?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. I'll reach out to Sam then and let her know. But yeah, there's definitely, it shouldn't be like a difficult thing. So it might just be, we can make a more direct link. And then, okay, so from there, we'll go talk about our 80-20 posting practice. So for this one, we really want to think about, you've probably heard the 80-20 rule in general, like just 80% of the stuff or 20% of your business. Anyways, but in this case for social media, we want to think about it as 1 out of every 5 posts should be about your business. The other 4 should be about something personal or something just besides real estate. Can someone tell me why they think this is important?
It becomes spam and it just becomes annoying to people's posts or their pages when they start seeing all these different business stuff pop up, and they will just avoid you.
Exactly.
Yeah. I feel like we've probably all been there, or we just followed someone or maybe a brand or something where it's like, okay, yeah, this isn't what I followed you for. So I think, yeah, Joshua, that's really important to think about. And again, in real estate, you are your business. So you really want to create that authenticity. You want to show people who you are, that you're human, that you can relate to them. You don't want to come off as that overly salesy, all I'm doing is posting about real estate. Because you got to think about the fact that buying and or selling a home is a huge milestone for most people. So it's a really big investment. It's very serious to them. And they want to make sure that they have someone who they can trust has their best interests in mind. They don't want to just be working with someone to help them make their next commission. They want to make sure that whoever they're with is going to fight for them through negotiation, through repairs, through all of these things, and be there for
They'll
them.
seem more personal.
Yeah. It's a big transitional time. Basically, you guys are like therapists and psychologists, all of this all in like one. So you have to make sure you have that like human connection with your clients. And hopefully by doing so, it'll help you generate more authentic and motivated clients. So going first into the 80%, talked a little bit about this, but really thinking about what can you post for that 80%? What should you be filling most of your social media content with? So there's a few options here. You can do your pets, like we talked about. Everyone loves dogs, cats, animals, all the things. You can talk about art, cooking, baking recipes, working out, exercising, all of these different things. Team sports. The Super Bowl just happened. I'm not even like a football watcher, but hey, I'm watching the football game. Like, here's the team I'm rooting for, just putting something out there just to get people to know that, you're engaging with the world, like pop culturally what's going on. Or maybe like, I know we had someone talk about gardening. They really loved gardening. That's something that most people may not even know about you. And if you post something like a picture of you in your backyard or maybe your little vegetable garden, again, that's an in for someone to reach out to you like, hey, I was thinking about starting a little garden. Do you have any tips? Oh, great. Yeah, here we go. There's a conversation. So just putting information about yourself, again, it doesn't have to be super invasive. It can be little things, just like your hobbies, interests. Maybe you tried a new coffee shop, or maybe a new coffee shop's opening in your city, and you're just giving updates. Hey, look, it looks like it's almost ready. I wonder when they'll open, or even going and asking them when they'll open and posting that. Just thinking about how you can help add value. So it's important to create your unique perspective and experience with your posts, kind of giving people like a glimpse into your life. So now I want to kind of give you a little bit of time to think about maybe 5 things that you can make a personal post out of. It could be something on this list. It could be something completely different. But I'll give you guys like 30 seconds. And then if you can share just like 1 or 2 things.
I have a question.
Yeah.
And I'll add what I post to this question. So I know sometimes like I won't see somebody's post for like 3 days. So there's something going on with the algorithm, right? And I do wonder that at times when I post something and then like 2 people have liked it, and I'm like, I wonder, and then later on down the week, maybe a couple more people will like it. So I wonder what the key is to kind of trying to make sure my posts are getting out there.
I think that's a great question. I know initially, I used to use Instagram a lot. So I know initially it used to be an algorithm based on chronological order, and then they changed that. So now what you're talking about is more of an algorithm, like what the algorithm thinks people want to see. So a big thing, right, Matt saying, yeah, making sure you're engaging with the people who like your posts. Exactly. Engagement is a huge thing. So if, let's say I regularly like your posts, even if they come up like a day or 2 later, I tend to like yours. then the algorithms will be like, hey, actually, Adriana likes seeing what Khadijah posts. Maybe we should put more of her stuff sooner when it does. Because the algorithm wants, basically the whole point of social media is they want you to use it. So if they see that you're using it and engaging with it and staying longer, great. Okay, let's keep doing what we're doing. So if I'm going to stay on just to like another post from Khadijah, they're going to keep giving me your posts and keep giving me things that even you like and posts that they'll suggest things from that. So thinking about not just like posting on specific times and things because like the algorithm has completely changed. But also thinking about how can I engage with the people out there. So
Right. I
I
noticed
would
a lot
say
of.
that,
Oh,
go ahead.
go ahead. No, sorry. Go ahead, Joshua.
I was going to say that sometimes what I'll do is, so I know that a lot of people have pets and a lot of people have kids and a lot of people have music that they love or food. Um, so instead of saying like a specific thing, like instead of saying Cheweenies, which is what I have, I'll say dogs and I'll do a little tag in the photo, but I won't say like, or to even instead of saying dogs, just say pets with a tag on it. The reason why is because the algorithm will pick specific categories for people. So when you first start up, they're always like, "Hey, what are your favorite things?" And you'll say like, "I love movies, I love TV shows, I love animals, I love food, and I love all these different things." And those tags right there are the things that are triggering some algorithms. And so if you say those little tags in your posts on the bottom, I think there's a pretty good chance that that could generate just based off of what you think your friends would actually like. And you put those tags in there referring to the thing that you're actually posting about.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, I don't use hashtags all the time, but I am trying to use them more.
Yeah, it's more than just names. So it's like use it for the grand category. So sometimes it gets hard to figure out what the grand category of something is.
Right, right.
yeah, that's a really good point. I know there's like a whole thing on like hashtag searching and thinking about like, yeah, what type of hashtag should I put? Maybe put that big category, but you can go a little bit nicher too, but just make sure you have both. It really
Right.
depends what you're trying to target.
And I think when you're trying to create engagement, so you could be like, oh, I only have a fish. That's my only pet. But I could be like, oh, I have my fish. What kind of pet do you have? And then that creates that engagement too.
Yeah.
But also joining in on connecting yourself to a particular group. So a lot of real estate agents seem to, which I've just seen a lot, where they will pick, like I'm in Millersburg, so they'll pick we have Millersburg area group. So they'll connect into that group. And then I will see the real estate agents come across there. Or Albany, I'm also in that group. They'll connect into that group. So all their advertising gets fed into those particular groups. And I'm seeing that an awful lot where they're connecting into those groups to slide their advertising into.
Yeah. That's a big thing too. Like Facebook groups, especially.
Yeah.
I'm kind of jumping the gun. We're going to get to there. But those are great, great points. Just think about, yeah. And also, I guess if we're talking about like following, even, it's not bad to follow other agents. It's actually really good. Because then it's going to, again, we're engaging with algorithm. So follow your fellow XBN agents, whether they're in your market center or they're at a different market center. But especially the people that you can connect with for referrals. You definitely want to have them as friends on your social media platforms. So yeah. Oh, did anyone want to share something that they would post about?
Oh, I'm sorry. I know. I like to post inspirational. So I do like card pulls, like oracle cards and stuff, but I also like to do like power thought cards. So I like to post stuff like that just to try to encourage people.
Oh, that's cool.
I have a question, Adriana.
Yeah.
So I do have a list of things that I'll share with you, but so I'm not a huge Facebook person, so it looks like I'll probably have to start understanding that so I can create a business Facebook account. I've been on Instagram for 13 years, but my Instagram profile is personal. You know, it's my family, my kids, my grandbabies, all that kind of stuff. In this case, should I just start adding to my personal one or set up a separate business Instagram page for people?
Yeah. For that one, there's no like right or wrong answer really. And I know you probably don't want to hear that, but
No, that's all right.
It's
Did I
really
mention something?
honestly personally up to you. Yeah.
There was a local, it's a local gathering that happens every Tuesday in Eugene, Springfield area, where local business owners will get together and they'll talk about things and they'll try to interact and try to network. There was one media person there that was saying how in the earlier part of your business, if you just stick, like you can do the Facebook page for a business, but just stick with the personal one because a lot of people aren't going to have that business page trigger to their algorithm where they're looking at stuff. So the personal side will actually go way farther out to everybody. And at least that's what I've heard. And so for the personal page, that's the best way to just stick with for a while, I guess. And the only thing I don't like about that is that the business page actually gives you like all this data analyzing and everything. And I love that. But the personal one, I haven't found that yet. I don't know if that's even part of it, but yeah.
I know with Instagram, you can switch it to a business profile and it should give you that. With Facebook, though, it does make a separate business page. So with Instagram, it would be easy to switch over. And that's a really good point, Joshua, just thinking about like the longevity of the account and how that will probably go farther. But it's also, you know, if you do have like pictures that, especially if it's like of your grandbabies, maybe you don't want that all out on social media.
Right. That's what I was thinking, because that's really private. You know, that's sharing my kids' information, so to speak. You know, yeah, it's my grandbaby, but okay, alrighty. Well, that's great. I did have some personal stuff that I would share. That was easy for me. Gardening, especially growing. This year, I want to do a big garden, growing lots of fruits and vegetables, making sourdough bread. I love mountain bike riding, and there's tons of trails here in Grants Pass, and then also walking my dog to the Rogue River. So that's Oregon is easy to find things to post about.
Yeah, for sure. Those are all really great. Like you definitely, I can already see some content going out, especially with like you said, the mountain biking, like just literally on a trail, just like, or after you do it, maybe for safety reasons, think about that as well. Or if you want anyone to join you, be like, hey, like I just finished this trail today, like who wants to join me next month or so on when I do it? Because you're literally building that community.
Something that has worked for me too, Ellie, that maybe you can consider is so I also was super private with my kids. I never really wanted to post, my kids' pictures and make them public. So what I did was that I didn't make my Facebook profile fully public. Just everything that now I'm starting to post is public. So you can go on there and you can choose if you want it to be public, only your friends to see it, or that's what I've been doing, and everything that I'm posting right now is public. So I'm also super cautious of what I post. Just on my story, since it's something that's not going to be viewable like forever, since it's just like a 24-hour limit that it's viewable. I do post my kids on there, just the story though. And just on my actual posts on Facebook, I don't. And just trying to keep that a little bit private, but still posting like what I do or stuff like that. I don't know if that helps.
Yeah, thank you for sharing. I appreciate that.
Just a suggestion on MREA, he has 2 agents in his discussions that use their kids. And one of them, he just posted, him taking his kids out with him. And I mean, it's done, if it's done in a right way, you can, one of them, I mean, they both are doing really well by using their kids and just showing that it's a family business.
Yeah, I know some people like they do that, but maybe they don't show like their face. They show like the back of their head or like maybe a hand or something. There's definitely ways to do it. Some people even put like emojis. I'm not a lover of that one that much,
Right.
but you know, up to you.
So when we post, should we always have words on it? Because like this morning, I just posted a picture of my daughter's dog on my bed, just his face, basically. And if I posted that in, how do I make it to where it gets more attraction other than just a picture?
Yeah, I would definitely put like a caption of some sort. So again, it doesn't have to be like something super creative. It could literally just be like "Good morning" with a dog emoji or something. Just like some type of writing, because especially like Instagram and Facebook, they definitely drive pictures. So because that's what you can post pictures. But that accompanying caption gives it that much more, you know, basically like completing what they have. So thinking about, oh, sorry, can you guys see me okay? My computer kind of did something.
Yes.
I can see you.
Okay, interesting.
I can see you.
Can't see you, but if you can see me, we can keep working. I'm just interested about, okay, I'm gonna try something real quick. Tell me if the screen changes for the slideshow. Okay, did it change?
Yes, I think so.
Okay, I'll go back.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
interesting. Well, my monitor went out, but if you guys can see me, we'll just keep going. So, I have two screens that way. One's working, but it's kind of been buggy. Anyways, we'll keep going. So, yeah, I would say definitely a caption of some sort, just again, because you're thinking about what does the algorithm really want me to be doing? Because if you're doing what the algorithm wants, that's what's going to get it to post you out there more. So if you're filling in all that information that it's asking you for, so like if you're giving it a picture, if you're putting a caption, things like if you're tagging people in it, if you're maybe doing a location tag on there, there's so many things that you can do on like the individual posts that you put out. So again, you don't have to fill out every single thing, but the more you do, the more likely the algorithm's gonna reward you for it.
The one thing that I've noticed that people do, and I know that they're doing it on purpose, is where they'll ask a question. And then I end up finding myself answering their question. So that helps to engage people with the photo. Ask them something about your photo.
And usually it's a dumb question.
But it gets me every time.
It gets me too. It's like, oh, dang it.
Sometimes those are the best ones. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, I don't know what's going on, but hopefully it's good from now on. But yeah. So I think those are great. So, you know, based off that list that you hopefully made, I want you to think about what's the first thing that you can go and post today. Oh, okay. I think my screen share stopped, right? Let's go again. Okay. So now that we went over 80%, let's get into the 20%. So what are those real estate business stuff that we should be posting? So when we think about business posts, think about what are you basically doing for self-promotion about your business. So it could be, it doesn't just have to be like listings and open houses, but think about awards and speaking events and maybe classes you've held. Award season is coming up. So if you're with Capital City, yours is tomorrow. If you're with Sunset, ours is on Thursday. Eugene's is next Tuesday. And then Medford's is March 24th, I believe. So definitely make sure you're going to your Market Center Appreciation Banquet. It's literally something that we're all putting on for you guys. It's to celebrate you and the wonderful year that we've had. And it's super fun. It's a really engaging and fun event. It's literally just to celebrate you guys. So that's a really easy thing that you could post about. Just, hey, like I'm at my awards night for our office. You can take pictures with other realtors, take pictures with your leadership team. They'll definitely like and comment on your posts, I guarantee you. Just make sure you tag them and stuff. That's a really easy one to put out there. So it doesn't have to, again, be that, hey, here's my new listing. Hey, here's an open house. Hey, here's a house I just sold. You know, get creative. Do that business promotion stuff, but maybe you don't always have to do those super, super, like, here's a house type of posts. Some other business post ideas you can kind of come up with to help create that engagement. A big one I see people do is for Red Day. So if you're new to KW or you just haven't really heard about Red Day is basically it is the second Thursday of May, and every year all of the KW market centers close down, and the leadership teams and all of the agents go and you do a community service project in your area. So that one's always really fun. They have like these Red Day t-shirts that you can wear. And we literally just go and we spend like the whole day helping something in our community. I know last year at Sunset, we helped a foster youth home and or it's like a community center for foster youth. And we just did a bunch of like landscaping and gardening. We helped like paint some fences. It was a lot, but it's always really rewarding, and it's definitely one of my favorite days of the year. So that's a really easy way to show that you're involved in the community, that you're with KW, and you're doing something good. It's an easy kind of, it's real estate-ish because you're posting with KW, but it's also showing something good that you're doing for the community.
What was the date?
It's the second Thursday in May. So take that with what you will. I don't know like the exact date off my head right now, but I know it is the second Thursday in May. Another one that I always think is super fun is the day in the life of a realtor type of posts. And this will be a super easy like story. It's for you to put just like on your story and just honestly spam it. Like put as many videos and little pictures as you want for like a full day. And it's literally just you doing what you do on a normal basis. Because think about it, like a lot of people honestly don't know what you do as a realtor. Oh, singing happy Red Day birthday. But yeah, it could be something as small as like, hey, I'm filling out a contract, and you're just maybe don't film the information in the contract, but like the blank contract, like, oh, working on this contract for a client. Then maybe you go like walk your dog for 30 minutes, take a picture of you and your dog. Oh, look at this. Now you're at an inspection and you're sitting in and seeing what the inspector person is doing, just kind of like your day-to-day things. A lot of people don't know what goes on in your job, honestly, and how much you guys actually do. So sharing that information with people. Everyone loves being nosy. Again, nobody wants to admit it, but everyone loves to know like, oh, wow, like I didn't know they did that. That's so cool. And it might even give you, people a chance to reach out to you. Like, hey, maybe I'm looking for a plumber for this. And maybe someone's like, hey, I know a plumber. My brother's a plumber. You should reach out to him. Here's his info. It's just a cool and easy way, especially if it's something, again, you're just going about your daily day. Just post about it. I've even seen like realtor social media challenges. So those are kind of just like for 30 days, like on day 1, post a picture of this. On day 2, post a picture of that. Just giving you ideas for content. And that's really easy just to find like on Google. You can Google something, or I'm sure Pinterest has like a ton. I know some title companies, even I've seen like they have branded calendars that you could just use and post content with that. But again, you don't have to be coming up with these things all on your own. Use the tools that are available to you. AI is a really big thing right now. I see all the time people are posting the AI pictures of themselves like, oh, look, this is me. Do with that what you will. It gets engagement, it gets people talking. But you can also use it to help you plan or help you think of ideas for like what type of content and when to post. Use the tools. They're out there. And then there actually is an extra 10% if you really want to go above and beyond. So besides your 80/20, you can do 10% community service posts. So this you could definitely tie in Red Day to this one. That would be a really easy like business community service kind of focused post. But you want to think about what's really going to give that extra 10%. So that way 110% you're out there, be that real estate expert of choice. So, think about what's happening, especially in your like the areas of business that you want to be working. Think about what's happening there. So maybe there's like public service information. Maybe I know a big one is when there's like really icy roads and stuff. Talk about, hey, like this section of the road is out. Like just be aware there's a lot of traffic in that area. Think about, how you can, again, add value and be active in your community. So sharing information that would be relevant and helpful to not only your clients, but people in general that live in the surrounding areas. I have some examples of like property tax increases. If schools are closed, that's a big one. If there's food banks or animal shelters that are in need or looking for something specific. In times of challenge and crisis, it's really important to think about like how you can be of service to your community. You're in a really fortunate position where you can be helpful members and really kind of be like those beacons, and spread information. So be helpful. You want people to come to you for information. You want to be that real estate expert of your area where like what's happening.
You mentioned animal shelters. There is a real estate guy, and I can't think of what area he's in, but his promotion on his site is that you buy a house. How did he word it? Buy a house, get a dog, something like that. But what it is that the way he does it is that when people buy a house with him, it's basically like they get a certificate to go to the animal shelter. And if they don't want to adopt a dog, then he gives that same amount of money to the animal shelter to fund a dog that, for adoption for somebody else. It's a really great thing. I'm like, that is really awesome.
Oh, I love that. I got goosebumps. That's such a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thinking about, what's your niche? Where can you help people? Where can you, his is obviously dogs. So figuring out where is it that you can help your community. I would also add probably following your community social media pages. So like over here, I live in Hillsboro. So I follow the Hillsboro Community Center social media and Facebook. I follow the library. That's a huge one. Super, super easy. I feel like I'm a huge library advocate, putting it out there. But there's so many things that the library has that people don't realize because you don't think about it like on a day-to-day basis. But now they literally have, I think like one of the coolest things our library has is called the Library of Things. And you can literally like check out physical things. So you can check out like an air fryer. You can check out like a croquet set. You can check out a sewing machine or things like that. And these are all like even like a drill set, like there's a whole thing. But like that's the thing that a lot of people probably don't know about because every time I go, it's always like full. So thinking about like what services are out there that people just aren't even taking advantage of. and sharing that information. It's not something that you're creating from scratch. You're just sharing the information to help get that out there. Libraries in general, they're really cool places with books that you can check out. They have magazines, libraries of things. They have a lot of like classes to teach people things as well. I've seen a lot of like tech support classes that they put on our local library, and even events. Think about holding an event at the library, and guess what? You're going to be put on that library calendar. So not only for your database is going to get information, but any person who's following the library calendar is going to see, oh, they're having a buyer seminar class at the library on this date. So think about, what resources you have out there that you can use, yes, for yourself, but also to spread awareness for the people in your community. And again, it doesn't have to be stuff that you're starting from scratch, just sharing those links, sharing those resources, sharing those posts that your community centers or food banks or animal shelters are posting already. It could be fun. It could be even things like real estate tips or home maintenance. I know in the winter, again, there's a lot of things you want to do to like help your home be, I don't know, well maintenance. So like stuff with running the water from the faucets if it gets really, really cold. I know they have like those outdoor, I don't know what they're called, but the faucet like cover things. Just things that maybe on a day-to-day because this is what you do for a living, but the average person might not know. Oh, Matt's put in, for years I just gave a bottle of wine that was collab with the vineyard and the Ronald McDonald House as a conversation starter. So many people have asked for more information and volunteered and donated to the Ronald McDonald House from his bottles. Wow, that's awesome. I always love that too, especially, if you're passionate about some sort of charity or, kind of niche thing, really, really talk about that, really promote that. Like mine is Girl Scouts. You heard in my intro, I was a Girl Scout since I was like in 4th grade and I graduated through. And I was like, you know what, this really means a lot to me. I learned a lot. I was able to experience a lot of things I probably never would have otherwise. So now I volunteer with the troop and I get to make sure that these young girls can also, learn confidence and do these amazing things and go camping and sell cookies and all that stuff. Which plug, it's cookie season, by the way. So if you haven't bought it, definitely go buy some.
Nice plug.
Yeah. But find that thing you're really passionate about and then just talk about it. And it's so easy because you love it so much that it doesn't come off as, overly salesy and things. But think about how you can help and promote the things you're already doing and use that as your way to get business. It's really the most natural and honestly the easiest thing to do. So with that, we have a few ahas. So I'll wait. Hey, if two of you guys want to give me an aha.
I want to ask about, so would reposting, so if you repost something, does that count at all?
Yeah, I think it counted as in the 10.5.1 as the one if you're sharing a post. I would say, especially too, if you plan to share a post, maybe add something to it too. Because you know how you can share and then you can like type a little text as well. Just add like a really short snippet of something. Like if we talked about the animal shelter, let's say you're sharing that. Just be like, oh yes, like please help out, or maybe something that you're doing. Like, oh, I'm planning to, I don't know, donate this or help out at this time. Like, who wants to join me? Things like that. Yeah. Anyone have an aha?
Whatever I do, whatever I say, I pour it out. So I see her get sometimes with that.
Okay, we'll keep going then. We got one more section. So this one, we're going to be going over the social media strategies. So I feel like this part, it's kind of like mixed throughout, but this is a few kind of really focused ones that we can touch upon. So for this one, We already know now how often we should be posting and engaging on social media, as well as the 80-20 principle to help us figure out what type of content we should be posting. So now we're going to look at some more strategies to kind of think about when we want to increase the engagement on social media. So, think about, again, we talked about the different types of sites. So there's Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, LinkedIn, all these things. Just because it's available, it doesn't mean you need to have a platform on it. Doesn't mean you need to be using it. Really focus on those 2 to 3 platforms and kind of grow from there. And that's why I highly recommend Instagram and Facebook to start off, because that's a really, really easy one where, since they're owned by the same company, there's literally a toggle that you just toggle it on. And once you have your accounts, you can say, hey, I'm going to post this maybe from the Instagram app, but I also want it posted on Facebook. And then maybe the next day you're like, oh, actually, I'm on Facebook and I'm going to post it, but I also want it to go to Instagram. So it's really easy to just post from either one and have it go to the other. And then, kind of going back to thinking of what's your favorite social media platform to find content. So not just to post, but what do you like using? Because if you like to use it, chances are you're going to use it more. So there's no right or wrong platform, but obviously if it's something you enjoy, it's going to be a lot easier. It's not going to be as much of a chore for you to go on and get on that. And again, thinking about your audience. Who do I want to reach? Where are they? How can I reach them easier? So we want to make sure we're using it to connect with people that you know or who have met in one way, shape, or form. Because again, it's a lot easier to ask someone, hey, let me follow your Instagram or Facebook, rather than maybe you're barely meeting them and you're like, I don't know if we're ready for phone number, email yet. But no one's gonna say no to Instagram or Facebook. So getting that out there, or again, going through those people who are suggested. Something I also recommend too is going through, let's say you just followed someone that you knew from college and you click on their page, go to their friend list and see how many people you know off of their friend list. Because chances are there might be some people on there, maybe also old college friends, or maybe someone from a past job you worked at. Go follow them and look through their friend list. And again, just kind of see who else you know based off their friend list. That basically gives you an easy kind of list to go through. I know on LinkedIn, it actually tells you what level connection they are to you. So think about doing that sort of thing, but on Instagram and Facebook. So literally just who do you know, seeing who they know, and see if you know any common people. Posting about your neighborhood. Again, that doesn't have to be your specific where you live neighborhood, but maybe the area you work in. Where do you want to be selling and helping buy houses? And post things about there. Because if people go to your page and they see you're posting about Hillsborough, for example, that's going to make me think, hey, if I see you posting all what's happening in Hillsborough, you probably know the area really well. So if I want to buy or sell, I want to buy or sell with somebody that knows the area, knows what's happening, and it's just very knowledgeable in general. So think about that. Using images. So again, I feel like most of the social media platform nowadays are image based. So Instagram, you go to a profile, the first thing you see is that grid of photos. Facebook, you can do text posts, but the ones with pictures tend to get more interactions. Even if it is one of those text only posts, usually it's that graphic with the text on top of it. So it's still technically image based. That tends to get you a lot farther, especially videos now as well. Congratulating new homeowners. That one's really easy and fun, and definitely something that people will probably repost. So, if you have that person that you just helped them buy their first house, ask their permission. Hey, I'd love to post you on my social media. That way you can share. I'll tag you in it, all that. Get that up there. It's exciting. We love celebrating. Your listings, get those listings out. It's not only showing that you're an agent and you're working, but it's helping your sellers get their home sold. So encourage people, hey, like, even if you know someone who lives in the neighborhood or who lives nearby, hey, this house just went for sale in your neighborhood. Do you know anyone in your family or friends that wants to live closer to you? Like, check it out, share it. Come pick your neighbors, literally. Like, get this house sold for me. And then talking about engagement again. So really making sure that we're not only posting, but we're engaging as well. And we'll get into that specifically. But with our highlight, think about hyper-local information. So this is that part we talked about. Where do you want to be doing business? So thinking about, the current market trends, what's happening, the numbers, all of that fun stuff. Your clients most likely don't know market-wise what's really happening, and that's why they come to you. They come to you because they want you to be that expert and give them that information. We actually have Area Pro as part of our network. So if you're not utilizing that, definitely talk to your tech trainer. Area Pro gives you the market stats and all the numbers, and there's like these cool charts and bar graphs and things. It tells you like days on market, what's the average sales price for the area. There's so much you can do on there, and it's really easy to get that information. You can use it like on the computer as you're talking with your clients, or you could do like a screenshot of like some different areas. You can even use it as like a post the info for maybe like a weekly market update, what's happening in this area. You could either screenshot it, you could put it on Canva. You have your KW Canva accounts. That'd be really easy to, I'm sure they have templates too already for KW, but just make like a cool little graphic with just the numbers on there. Be like, hey, if you want more information or more specific information on your neighborhood, reach out to me. We can set a time. So think about that. Utilize your tech developments. So again, Area Pro, Canva, you have your KW agent site. That has a lot of information on there that you can be using. So like the home equity calculator. If people want to see what their home is worth, they can just search the property address. It'll give them like a very general estimate. It does tell them to contact you for more accurate information. But what you get from that is anyone who fills out that calculator, their information actually goes into Command for you. So it'll give you the actual like property address that they searched. So you'll know exactly like what their home address is or which house they're thinking of. Also like a mortgage calculator, that's on your website. You have preferred vendors, all these cool things that you could be utilizing, that you have in your hand. And then also posting client testimonials. I feel like a lot of times people are kind of shy to self-promote. They think it might be like braggy if I like write, oh, like this person talked about how amazing I am as a realtor. And I don't know, I feel kind of shy posting that. Don't be. Like these people posted that for a reason. They're so excited. They loved working with you so much that they want other people to know as well. If anything, think of it as honestly flattering for the people who are leaving these reviews. Because if you're sharing that to them, it means that you liked their review so much that you wanted other people to see it too. And it's also great, because in real estate, especially word of mouth recommendations go so far. It's really great for like referrals. If I see one of my friends posted a review on your page, I'm so much more likely when I come to want to buy or sell to go to you, because chances are I'm going to talk to my friend and be like, hey, I know you just bought your house recently. We're thinking about maybe getting started on what that process might look like. And if she's like, oh yeah, like I had such a great time with Ellie, and she did such a great job. I really highly recommend her. Like, you should totally talk with her. That's a really easy in. And if I see that, again, you're posting your client testimonials, it's going to make me want to go to your review page. Even if I only saw one that you posted, if I go to your review page and you have more that look really good, again, that's just further backing up the claim. You know, when you're buying stuff, I feel like Amazon's a really huge website. No one goes and buys the first thing that they see on Amazon. You know, you go through, you look at the reviews, you see what's similar, what's suggested, and you do like your research before you finally come upon a thing that you want to buy. And I don't know about you guys, but for me, reviews are a huge thing on Amazon. Like, I'm looking through the pictures, I'm reading what people talked about, all of that stuff. So in a way, real estate can be kind of similar. Also, for reviews, I know we have the KW agent site review section. I know, Senior, we were talking about that. I also highly recommend you create what's called a Google My Business account. So that is, if you literally just go on Google, type Google My Business, it'll take you to a website and just create an account on there. So what that is basically, you know, when you go on Google, you search a coffee shop, for example. You know, on the right side of the screen where it has the pictures of the coffee shop and it tells you the opening hours and the photos and the reviews. That's a Google My Business profile. So as a realtor, create a profile and do that for yourself. So I would be like Adriana Baltazar Realtor. You can make it as whatever name you want. Obviously, it has to be you, but make that profile, post a few pictures, even like if you have a logo or of the market center or of like your headshot, something like that. Put again like hours of operation, and you know, just put hours in that you will definitely be able to reply to people. Start some reviews. Even if you don't have any clients yet, you definitely know people that you either worked with in the past, that you're friends or family with, or ask your leadership team. They'll be super happy to go ahead and leave your review. And I'm not saying have them like lie and be like, oh yeah, I bought a house with so and so. No, have them review you based on your character, based on things that they've worked with you in the past. So I could say like, hey, I worked with Sherry in the past. She's super responsive. She was always really on top of things. Always made sure to check in with me and make sure like everything was going well. I really appreciated working with her. It's not a lie. Well, I don't know Sherry personally, but I'm assuming this is great about you. But I didn't say anything about buying or selling, but I did talk on her character, and that's not a lie in my sense. So think about who do you have in your life that loves and knows you and would be willing to put like a review like that out. And that's just a really easy way to kind of get that going, get that startup. And then once you get your actual clients that you've done that whole transaction with, getting those out as well, it's just going to add to your reviews. So don't feel like, well, I don't have any, I don't know, I don't want to share anything. Why not? Just ask the people who know and love you. And now we talk about don't post and ghost. So engagement creates engagement. We kind of talked about it a lot. But remember, like if you're posting something and someone comments, make sure you're replying. A lot of people will, even if it's something like, let's say they just put an emoji and you're like, I don't know how to respond to that. You could at least like the comment. That's something really easy that you can do now on most platforms. So at a minimum, I would like do the little hearts on the comments that they leave or the little emoji response. But if someone like writes out a few sentences, definitely write back. If it's something that maybe you want to respond, but it's a bit of a longer response or maybe more personal or something, feel free to take it to the direct messages. So just message them privately. Hey, like I saw your comment on this, like I just really wanted to like thank you, but also like here's your answer. You know, people are taking the time out of their day to post on this. So that means that they feel this is something they want you to know. Again, whether good or bad, take it what you will. We can't control that. But you can control your response. And, posts that have that steady stream of engagements are going to be more likely to be promoted. So the more that you engage in social media, the more that you'll be engaged with by your followers. Because again, kind of like we talked about, this is an algorithm thing. So if Instagram, Facebook, so on, sees that your post is being interacted with a lot, it's going to show that post to more people because it thinks, hey, if this is getting a lot of hits, chances are it'll get even more if we keep putting it out there. And hopefully it'll even help it bump up to the top. So like we said, now it doesn't do chronological order anymore. If it's getting engaged with a lot, they're more likely to show it to people faster rather than like 3-4 days later. In the algorithm's mind, people interacting with a post means that that post is good. And if people are interacting and they're liking the post, they're more likely to come back to said social media platform. So thinking about that. And then kind of setting time each day to respond to your social media. So let's say I posted this morning. I don't have to be on my phone checking each time somebody comments and replying immediately, but I could maybe set aside like 10 minutes towards the end of the day where I go and I see all the comments and I like them all and respond and do all that. Batch it. You don't have to do it immediately because that way you can focus on the things that you have to do, but you're still allowing yourself that time to check in with that post and anyone who engaged with it. So, question, why is it important to acknowledge when others comment or like your post?
It creates engagement and it gets you maybe more followers.
Yeah, for sure. If we're talking about like the algorithm.
I notice when I look at comments and I see the posting person makes comments to the comments that I'm reading, I know right away that that person at least has a system where they're caring enough to respond to others and not just asking a question and then ghosting.
Mm-hmm. I feel like I've noticed too, if kind of going off of that, if I see people commenting and the person's responding, I stay on that comment section longer and I want to see what they responded. I want
Yeah,
to see what that
totally.
original poster did. And that's literally something I didn't even realize until now that like you talked about that. But you look at, the person that you're following, what do they respond? And if it's a lot of comments, I open them and I go, and honestly, I'll skip the ones that weren't responded to. But as soon as I see somebody or the person that I know who posted it, if I see their response, I'll read that one.
Even the most responsive posts, like even a post that doesn't engage too much, but the comments can sometimes take over the post
Yeah.
itself. So just commenting could help.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, okay, look, we're learning things. But yeah, I think that's a really good point. Because especially if you know the person, so people who know you, if they see you responding to comments on your post, chances are they're going to want to see what you replied. And that gives them more time on your post, which, yes, also boosts the engagement because time spent on post is also a thing. And it also makes the algorithm like you because they're like, oh, they're making other people stay longer on here. So again, I'm going to kind of put it up. Oh, and Matt says too, yeah, to kick it up back in your feed, follow back and comment days later. I just commented on a couple from a post I made 6 days ago. Keeps people coming back. Yep, that's a really good point too. So I'm sure you time blocked to respond and go back and then we're able to do that. That's a good point. So yeah, make sure you're engaging. Don't just post and forget about it, but come back to the posts. And last big piece is to add value. So you want to participate in online communities where you can offer a unique and valuable perspective. So I think, Shelly, this is what you were talking about with the Facebook groups, really finding those communities that you can add the value to. So yeah, Facebook groups are a really big thing for this. I feel LinkedIn's probably also pretty good for this. But where you can find those groups or those already kind of established communities on these platforms and really engage with them. So I know we talked about the Facebook groups where it's like your city or your neighborhood, but also thinking about, your interests, or your audience. Where's your audience? What groups are they in? If you really want to help, maybe I'm trying to think of different groups. So like I've seen a ton of like mom groups where they talk about like how like things for kids, like events for kids to take them and stuff. Maybe you work with a lot of women and that's like a group that maybe you're a mom yourself and you can contribute value in there. And guess what? Every once in a while, yeah, I'm real estate, kind of popping that in. Or if we talked about mountain biking, maybe you're really good and there's a group that talks about all the really cool trails in your area. You can join that and then post a picture. Hey, I just did this trail. Here's my rating I have for it. Like, I thought it was really great. This part was a little tricky or whatever. I don't really know, but kind of adding your 2 cents, and thinking about where can you contribute things and just like add to other people's experience. So it might take some time to really find those communities that you can be a part of that will be worth it for you. But just even you're probably already a part of a lot. So which ones are you already a part of and adding value to, and how can that be leveraged to create those business opportunities for you? So, there's even like real estate groups. Even if you're just looking to connect with other realtors, those are good like referrals. Or even in general, just to get like your name out there. You want people to think that you're doing good and what you're doing is, you're helping your community. And if you're following other realtors, chances are you're going to work with them at some point or another, especially if you all like live really close to each other. So it's good to have that like friendly, amicable vibe out there. Does anyone want to share maybe a group that you're already in that you're kind of coming to mind right now?
I do the Oregon Extension Service. I really like them because I can repost. They had a class. I just thought about it when you were talking that they had a class for bread making and I totally missed it and it got filled up. And I wished I would have thought about going, kind of reposted it and said, man, I missed it. Just to have something to post.
Even that, and then just be like, if anyone knows another one coming around sometime, like let me know. Or even again, if there is one, maybe hopefully it's not filled up yet, but just being like, hey, I just signed up for this like bread making class. Anyone want to join me? That's a really easy thing to do too. That's a great idea. Okay. And so with that, we have an activity to post on social media. But basically just think about what we've talked about today and how we can basically create a social media post. So you're very much welcome to actually post one. But for this scenario, we're going to do like an example one. So if we were going to build one together. So I know we have Canva. So you have the KW Canva account that you can use and easily create a graphic. You could also just take a picture of yourself or something or whatever, maybe even a video, and just think about, let's brainstorm a post that we would want to do. So we talked about the 80-20. Which type of post would we want to do? Personal or business?
I would say personal. Sorry. I would say personal, but it would be what could be posted would be based off of the NAR stuff that they released, that they always have these really cool graphs and stuff, but it could be about something that is more personal to people, not necessarily business side of things.
Okay. So how would it relate personally?
Maybe it has something to do with more and more families with pets are starting to really love the area you're living in, or something like that. Just something that is relatable, but also part of your job.
Okay.
Like the home show coming up in Roseburg in March
Oh yeah.
7th, I think, or even the Garden Masters Gardener.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
I think those would be good, like sharing if we were to repost that on your page and then just add like that little caption. I think those would be really good. Or for like the NAR one, if you want to pick out like a specific stat and make like a graphic for it, that would do really well too. So we can see kind of, we're already thinking about like different types of things that you could post. And again, it doesn't have to be so black and white. Kind of like Joshua said, like even if you are posting something that's from the National Association of Realtors, you can make it more personal by connecting it to something that you really enjoy or something that you know your audience will. So thinking about like the different ways that you can do things. Cool. I'm glad we're getting some ideas. So
If you're going to post it about dogs, you could do the local hiking trails that were around the area.
yeah, that's a good one.
My
You put your
problem is I can't
pictures.
keep them on the leash. I have issues with keeping them on the leash. I love to watch them run.
Well, even that's something you can post about, like, hey, this is a really great off-leash area that you
Yeah,
can
that's where I
totally
take mine
go.
is to off-leash areas and go hiking.
So I hope you're posting pictures of that because everyone loves animals.
Maybe like post something about how there's a dog park in your area. Yeah, that'd be cool. I like.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
that's what if everybody wants to know is where all the hiking trails are at that are off lead and off leash. And so that's a really good thing to post because that's a consistent theme of people asking, even in all of the local areas, is that's what people are asking is where are all these trails at and that people are going to. Yep.
For sure. That's even like a really easy thing if you are posting that to create like a highlight on your social media. So you know, like Instagram has that highlight reel where you can save your stories and like batch them as one category. So you can have all that, and then that way people can refer back to when they want to look through all the dog parks in the area that are off leash. And if you want to go even step further, you can start posting on your blog on your agent site. There's a really easy blog post template that you just fill out. And again, it doesn't have to be like an actual like essay. You've seen blog posts that are only like a few sentences, and you can just add to it or make an updated post each time you like add a new one. So there's definitely like a lot of content ideas that you guys are throwing around. So that's really exciting. Definitely start acting on it. Don't just think it, post it.
Canva makes it really easy to post on our website.
Yeah.
It's just one of the buttons. You just click on it and it goes to your website and it does all this confetti stuff. And the first couple of times I'm like, where did it go? Where did it post? Because I didn't really know. And so it took me a bit to figure it out.
There you go. Yeah, you just got to start. I think that's honestly the hardest part is just doing that first step, getting something out there. And then once it's out there, it's like, oh, okay, that wasn't too bad. You just kind of go from there. So I'm excited to see your posts. And then kind of to wrap up, just kind of going over, again, be authentic. So we talked about like posting things that you genuinely enjoy and that you like to do, things that you know about. Don't be a jack of all trades. Again, you don't need to be on every single platform. Just be on 2 or 3. Really focus on those. And then you can always branch out later on. Embrace video. That's a huge thing nowadays. I know like TikTok is a really big platform. It's growing. But Instagram and Facebook also have like Reels now. YouTube's huge. I think actually YouTube's the #1 social media platform right now. So, you know, even if you want to start with like the YouTube Shorts, that's something really easy. If you plan to go into like a longer form video, whatever you're posting in Reels, you could post on TikTok, you could post on YouTube Shorts, and so on. But, you know, really start off, I would say, just with the Instagram, Facebook, get used to whether you want to be on camera or filming stuff in general.
One thing I noticed was that YouTube is the biggest streaming service, and I never thought about that, but it makes sense. It's the biggest streaming service there is that not even Netflix can compare. It's crazy.
It's grown so much too. Like they have their YouTube TV and there's like you can live stream all this stuff. So definitely again, start with like Instagram, Facebook, get a feel for videos. But YouTube is really, really where it's at if you want to get into videos and start getting your information out. Especially if you're like educating, if you're doing things like showing people like the process, or I've seen videos of people exploring their neighborhoods, stuff like that.
I've seen good and bad videos of real estate people doing good and bad ones, like ones where they move too fast with, when they're showing the house. I mean, they really just like fly through it. And I'm just like, whoa, you need to slow down. That is just, and so, that one to me was not a good one. And then I've seen where, they're just focusing on showing the exterior of the home because it's got a beautiful view, and so they're staying more solid on one thing versus, the one person where it was like, they blasted through the front door and then it's like, boom, they were going. That one just, I mean, I don't know where they were going with it, but I was like, not a good one.
There's a woman, I don't know where she lives, but she's a realtor, and she does these videos where she makes remarks that are not good remarks. They're more like slams on the rooms or the things in the home, and people seem to love it. Like they actually really like her a lot. And she's huge just by making wise remarks about the rooms and everything and how they seem a certain way or how they're funny this way, and people seem to love that their house is being roasted by this woman, and it becomes huge. And that was like the total opposite of what I would even think of.
To each their own. There's some for everybody out there. So I think that's a really good point though. Like watch other people's YouTube and Instagram and Facebook channels and see what they're posting, see what you like, and make it your own way. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. We talk about rip off and duplicate all the time, but compliance-y in a way. So just get your ideas from like watching other people and see what you like, do that, and see what you don't like and don't do that. It's a really good and easy way to kind of, figure out what you want to do with your content. And then don't be afraid to ask for help. So especially, let's say you do find maybe one of the agents in your market center has really cool videos, and that's something that you want to work on. Like go ask them, like, hey, like what do you do for your videos? Like, do you have like an actual like professional camera? Do you use like just your phone? What editor do you use to do this? People honestly will take it as a form of flattery. Like I've never seen someone that they come and ask you, hey, like how'd you do this? Where they're like, no, I'm not gonna tell you. I feel like KW is a really, really warm culture where everyone you want to have that win-win. So I feel like within, especially your market center and our network, ask around. People want to help, and it makes everyone do better in the long run. So, especially like with all this AI rankings and everything, if algorithms see that people from the same brokerage are doing better, in general, they're going to lift up the people from that brokerage altogether. So, kind of thinking about that, you want to help out your fellow agent. That way you can all win. So that's pretty much where we're gonna wrap up. I guess one more thing I'll say too with the be authentic and kind of ask for help part is to remember that oftentimes social media is more of a highlight reel of people's best selves. So a lot of times you see people posting all the good things that are happening in their life and how they got this accomplishment and that award and how everything's going great and they're just all on top of it. But what people don't tend to post about is the real things that happen to them. Maybe the things they're struggling with. Maybe they're going through health stuff behind the scenes. So remembering that when you're posting and when you're engaging with people, that everyone could be going through something at any time. And if you want to, like, feel free to add in a few of those like real situations every once in a while, and see how people respond. So oftentimes, again, we were talking about people want to help. They want to help make you feel good and happy and things like that. So if you are going through a really hard time, post about it if you feel inclined to. Like, chances are people are going to reach out to you and they're going to want to help you feel better and get through and provide you with resources or whatever you need. But don't be afraid, to ask for help or share that more vulnerable side of you, if you feel so inclined to. So, with that, we'll wrap up with our recap. So we have our 10-5-1 engagement system. We talked about our 10 likes, our 5 comments, and then our 1 share, direct message, or original post. And then we went into our 80-20, which is 80% personal with our 20% business. And if you really want to go above and beyond, that extra 10% community service. And then last but not least, we have our social media strategies, where we went over how to highlight your business, get it out there, not posting and ghosting, and then how we can really add value to not only our lives, but the people around us, and make it so that people want to come to your page for whatever type of value they're looking for. So we'll end off with our last ahas. Does anyone want to share before we head out?
Get out there and do it.
No. Like, we got Nike in Oregon. Just do it. Just get it
I
out
will
there.
say my aha was when you mentioned the posting about your vulnerabilities or something that is happening in your life. I feel like those posts seem to get a lot of responses. So it doesn't necessarily have to be something that is super vulnerable for you, but it's something that is relatable to life for you. A lot of other people are probably feeling the same relation. And so then that will get spread. So I do like that. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good point. And yeah, it could be even like, hey, I have a plumbing issue and I need a plumber. Like, can someone help me out here? Like, like you said, it doesn't have to be like super, well, that might be a little vulnerable, but you know what I mean? It doesn't have to be a super like emotionally tied to you.
I posted because I burnt my toast in the morning, Sunday morning. And I'm like, well, this is how my morning's going. And I showed this toast just absolutely burnt. But I figured, what the heck? It shows that, you know what? That's who I am.
Yeah, exactly. It's authentic to you. And if you felt inclined to post it, then you're sharing who you are as a person. You're someone who's funny and can take life as it is. You're not going to cry over burnt toast. All right. Well, thank you guys. Unless anyone have any other questions, we're feeling good. We're ready to go post, I hope.
This was great. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you all for joining.
Thank
Also,
you.
last plug, there is actually a social media playbook in Command if you haven't checked it out already. It's within the Connect tab in Command. So definitely check that out. It has some really great tips. Some we went over, others we didn't even mention. So check that out, and definitely get set up on your KW Canva if you haven't already. I use it literally every day. Highly recommend. Love it. All right. Thank you all. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.